All right, we're here today with Andrew Neeme. Thank you very much for joining us.
Sure thing.
How are you today?
Doing okay. We're battling out there in the tournament streets.
Yes, it's still ongoing. So I'm gonna start off and shoot. How long have you been playing? How many years, and how many years are professionally for you?
I guess I started dabbling in 2004, very much recreational. Started online. Didn't take the game very seriously for a number of years. Just like I said, very recreational, splashing around the online streets. But I guess professionally since about 2008 or so. Again, I wouldn't call myself the best or most serious professional for a number of years there, but because poker was so much easier back in the day.
True
you
that.
know, it was easier to achieve a reasonable win rate without doing too much work. So just kind of fell into it and was able to do okay, especially online at first, and then moved to Las Vegas and discovered all the bad habits that a professional poker player should not have.
Yeah.
And eventually straightened some of those out and started to take it a little bit more serious eventually, and got on track.
Okay, very interesting. And before you made a switch to professional poker, was there any other job you had been doing in the past? Or?
Yeah, I was chasing the music industry dream. I was working behind the scenes. Started with an internship in London right out of college, and then that company is a music promotion company. They hired me after the internship was over. So I was in London for about a year. Stayed there until my visa was no good anymore and had to come back to the States. And then for music industry, you usually go to Los Angeles or New York City. And I chose Los Angeles and had a very similar job in LA compared to the one in London, but I wasn't able to find one that I enjoyed as much as the job I had in London. So I kind of bounced around a little bit and worked for a few different companies, and then poker started blasting off. It was in the mid 2000s. It was expanding rapidly, and it was all over television.
Yeah.
And so while my interest was kind of waning in what I was pursuing originally, at the same time I was getting more and more into poker, and the industry was booming. So just like I said, just kind of fell into it. One thing leads to another,
didn't get out anymore.
Here we are, all these years later.
And do you think if it wasn't for the game, you'd still be in the music industry?
Tough to say. I mean, it's really kind of tough to guess or imagine where your life would be, especially all these years later. I don't know. I might have tried something else, or I might have stuck it out. But there's certain things I really enjoyed about the music industry. The music itself, of course, is the best part, and getting to go to lots of gigs. But it was tough, especially when you're just getting your start. You don't really make much money as you do in any other industry. Yeah. And it's very cutthroat and very competitive. Not that poker is not also cutthroat and competitive, but
you picked a good industry to move to then. Huh?
But I really liked the fact that I could work for myself, make my own schedule in poker, and whether that's stay up all night or travel to different parts of the country and play poker, and not being tied down to any one particular office on regular office hours. That was, I think, the lifestyle thing was the most appealing to me in poker. So maybe I would have ended up in something if there's a job that's a similar nature in those regards, but tough to say for sure.
What's the best piece of advice you'd be able to give to someone who starts out with the game, and potentially with someone who starts out a vlog? What was your journey like from 0 to 180,000 subscribers?
Yeah, well, as far as poker goes, it depends what you in particular want to get out of the game, right? If you want to take it very seriously and you want to move up through the stakes and make this your career, then you are going to have to do the opposite of what I did when I first moved to Vegas. You're going to have to make sure you're working very diligently, and you're putting in lots of hours, and you are taking advantage of all the study tools that are available nowadays. Whether that's the solvers or training sites or finding a coach, find the one that works for you. And you got to take it seriously. You got to lock in, because the game gets tougher and tougher. But if you don't want to, if it's not something that you're looking to make a career out of, then it's okay. It's okay to treat the game as a social and fun experience. I think we're all trying to win when we sit down at the table, but understand that it is a very competitive endeavor for a lot of people, and if you're not winning, and you're not putting in all that effort, it's okay. You know, as long as you're having fun and enjoying the game, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But as far as the content creation goes and the blog, obviously the landscape looks different now from when I got into it. I didn't have much of a blueprint to follow really, you know, so just tried to capture what I was up to for the past 8 years of playing professionally and made the videos that I thought people would find interesting or that I might find interesting myself. So I think, like, you know, the best thing to do that I try to tell people to do is make videos that you yourself would want to watch, right? And get out there and do that and make the video that you would find interesting. You know, if you came across this video, would you watch it? And if not, then why not? Maybe, you know, tweak it. But, you know, it's going to be awkward when you get your start. You're going to be, it's going to feel awkward when you're talking into the camera at first, no matter what.
It takes a few vlogs to get going, huh?
It took me a long time. Yeah, it's funny looking back at my early videos and seeing the, you know, that awkwardness is there, and the delivery is pretty different from then to now. So there's a process there, no matter what it is.
Understood. You were saying a little bit also that you would recommend people to start with a coach. Do you also have a mental coach?
I think my wife is my best mental coach.
Oh, there you go.
She's probably the biggest help in getting my mind in a good spot. You know, talking me through what's been going on recently, because poker is always going to be ups and downs. Even if you're one of the best players, you know, there's always going to be downswings and rough patches. But you know, the downswings don't. If you don't let them define you, then you know, you can do good things. If you stay on the path and you're showing up every day and you're doing the things that are important, then you know, the results will come eventually. So it's good to have you know, someone like her that keeps my mind right.
Yeah.
But do I have an official coach that I've for their services? No, but I certainly can understand why that's an important thing to do.
So that will lead us to our last question. What's the biggest dream for you when it comes to poker?
Yeah, I don't know if I have any one goal that's at the top of the list. You know, this journey, especially ever since starting the YouTube channel and getting into content creation, has taken me to some places where I definitely did not think I would have gone with poker. We're sitting here in Cambodia doing an interview, which is crazy and awesome. To say that, like, I need to do this one thing in order for me to be happy with my poker career, I don't really have anything in particular, but we do want to keep working on the lodge, and we want to eventually expand that business elsewhere. Yeah, I just need to keep plugging away at these tournaments, you know. But you know, the thing with poker is that there's always a higher number. You know, numbers go to infinity. So what happens if I find that 6-figure score? Do I then need to start chasing the 7-figure score? The main goal is to just try and be as happy as possible along the way, and not get too down when the results are going like this.
Thank you very much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure having you.
My pleasure. Sure.
That's a wrap.
Thanks. All right. Easy.